My back is really stiff, I need a massage. Now, people often describe stiffness, tightness, tension, knots, and all sorts of things of that nature when it comes to back pain. Obviously, this is legitimately how they feel, but actually, if you could objectively measure stiffness, tightness, muscle knots, would you see that what they feel and what actually exists are actually the same? Is it actually a true feeling, or is it your nervous system just sending some signals to your brain to tell you that you've got a problem in this area? And that's what we're going to look into in this video. We've obviously discussed this with another research study where they looked at the neck. This one's going to look at the back, and in this case, chronic back pain. And we know that with the neck study, they found interesting findings, which was that there wasn't a correlation in the sense of how somebody felt in their neck to how it was actually measured objectively, and therefore there was no difference between people with neck pain and not. So this one's the back, so maybe there's some difference here. I suspect not, but we will find out. So in this study, they had 15 people with chronic, non-specific lower back pain. They compared them against 15 age-matched people who had no symptoms or signs of any stiffness or back pain, and they measured objective stiffness with a custom-made mechanical indenter. They obviously gave everyone baseline questionnaires to work out how they felt in terms of their stiffness. And to measure the objective stiffness and tightness, they had them all lying prone, so on their fronts. They palpated the spinous process of L3. They did 3 familiarization tests before commencing the actual measurement test. And people had a maximum of 20 indentations done, which ranged from 50 to 70 newtons. The participants were rating their current stiffness levels on a numerical scale. This was to do with current and average stiffness, and it ranged from 0 to 100. 0 obviously being no stiffness and 100 being really, really stiff. So during indentation, they measured the displacement that occurred. They measured average stiffness and terminal stiffness, which is obviously the end of the range stiffness. So they did these measures on both groups, both the pain group and the non-pain group. Also, they assessed their pain intensity while they were doing the mechanical indentation, and they rated this on another numerical scale between 0 and 100. So what did they find? So surprise, surprise, just like the previous study, they found no relationship between their feelings of stiffness, both average and current, and their average or terminal stiffnesses objectively. So there wasn't actually a sort of correlation between what you felt in yourself compared to what the machine could read as being the stiffness. So again, it shows that the sensation of stiffness and tightness is a sensation more than it is a real objective thing, surprisingly. And in terms of what they felt with the actual indentation, in terms of what they felt pain-wise or discomfort-wise, then it was true that the group who had their back pain estimated higher levels on their scale than the other group. It was 31% to 15%. So what does this mean? It means that if you've got back pain, your nervous system needs to give you some signal about a problem there, and it then gives you tightness, which probably then might limit you to move. And this would have been good if you'd got a broken back, a fractured spine, because that would save your life if you're a hunter-gatherer. Obviously, in this day and age, this doesn't really happen to us anymore. It tends to be soft tissue injury or disc issue or something else, and therefore movement, in fact, is good. But the body doesn't know this, and it plays it safe. So it wants to give you a feeling that makes you less likely to move, and that's what stiffness and tightness sensations would do. But actually, in terms of what's going on in there, it isn't actually being held in that stiffness state as opposed to what it feels like. And I've noticed this in patients that I've seen. I've noticed this on courses where we just palpate physios who have no problems, and you find all sorts of different tensions being felt. And I've noticed it in tissues that don't actually tense up, like tendons. You can feel tightness in a tendon, but a tendon can't be tight. You can't contract a tendon. And yeah, it's just your body giving you a signal to say, oh, be careful, we've got a problem here. And it's a protective reflex. And the sensitivity levels are also higher, as we saw here as well, which makes sense. Again, it's another protective reflex. Obviously, again, these protective reflexes in most cases now are overprotective, and that's why people like us, physios, get involved to try and dampen down them overprotective reflexes, influencing the fight or flight nervous system, the sympathetic output, to bring that down, to enable movement, to enable function, to enable things to get going. So the person would have a massage, would feel better, they would feel less tight, they would feel better, but is it you're relaxing the muscle, or is it that you're actually dampening the overprotective reflex of sensation of tightness? Interesting one, because obviously they didn't compare this after doing massage, but that might be an interesting study to do. So, interesting, correlates with the previous research. I know loads of people will say, load of rubbish, I feel tight, and someone pressed and they felt a knot. But again, the problem there is, would you feel your own back if you didn't have back pain to know what it would normally have felt like before you had pain? The answer is invariably no, so you've got no baseline to compare it against. The reality is the research is showing us this, and it's highlighted this on multiple occasions. It doesn't really matter because the sensation doesn't invalidate someone's pain and problems, but it's still a problem which needs sorting and still needs treating and still needs to get that patient going. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.